Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Boy, it's been a long 10 years. It's been a long 10 years since I stood in front of anybody and asked them for their vote. But I think the time has come again. My little brother always looking out for me. I want to say something first. First of all, thank all of you for taking the time out of your day for coming. It's a beautiful thing to be able to introduce my new friends with my old friends. Alice German is a saint. I have to tell you a quick story that I said on the radio today, which is the first time I said this to her. As the new state chair, I'm brand new, so I'm trying to find out everything, and I'm calling every day. And they say, oh, you got to talk to the secretary. I said, okay. And then I called the name. I said, oh, God, I'm not talking to a secretary. I'm talking to the secretary. But Alice is incredible in that she has served as a mentor to so many of us in terms of teaching us how to navigate the hallways of the DNC. And Alice, if I live to be 1,000 years old, I will never, ever forget your kindness. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I really do. I really do. Thank you so much. Roberto, what can I say about Roberto?
Don't tell.
Okay, I'll tell the during the meeting story. We met 3-4 years ago, and like he said, I went in, something was going on, I started raising Cain, and I hear this guy in the back, Wepa! Right? Wepa! And I turned around, Wepa! And we've been fast friends ever since. We have probably one of the best working relationships within the DNC. Because at the end of the day, what we realize is that even though our islands are separated by water, we are actually one. Their concerns are our concerns, and we were in the White House 2 Januaries ago talking about how stupid the rum wars were. Honestly, we were standing there talking about, what is this thing? At the end of the day, we want the same things for our children, for our parents, for our families. And that's how Roberta and I have been communicating and working together. We're going to be friends forever. We're going to be friends until we're old men. You don't find people like that too often. I have the immense amount of respect for you. Thank you for coming, my friends. I really appreciate it. I've got some of my oldest friends in here. Ruben and I are always together, and we always cuss Ivan because he never makes time. Benny Soto, we were in grade school together, and he's in here. Where's the cup there? And it means a lot to me that the people who know me best are here with me tonight. The thing is that it's not so much about Congress as it is about us, who we are, and the fact that we cannot remain in the situation that we are. That's what it really is about. If there were another position, if there were another way that I felt I could contribute to making the Virgin Islands what it should be, not just for those of us here, but for those of us who are to come, that's where I would be. And I have searched my heart. You just don't know the nights that I sat up asking myself, are you crazy? You're out. But at the end of the day, I have to live with myself, and I have to realize that it's just not about my comfort zone. It's about what are we going to do at this crossroads, at this particular time in these islands. Are we going to have someone that I can have the confidence in that is going to stand against the tide that will sweep us under? Are we going to have someone that is going to put in the time? Because it takes a lot of time. Alice can tell you, Roberta can tell you, anyone, Cecil could tell you. It takes time to build relationships, and it takes time, especially in Washington, to gain the trust of people. So that when you call and you say, we have a problem, that people will come forward who have absolutely nothing to gain except that it's the right thing to do. And that will help you and help us. Because at the end of the day, we are at a crossroads in these islands. If no one else understands it, believe me, I understand that we are at a crossroads. We are either going to attain equity and equality with everyone else in America, or we will fail miserably and permanently. We have islands in the Caribbean who are suffering the fate and going down the road that I see. 12 years ago, when 9/11 happened, and I wrote to Governor Turnbull and I said, you cannot continue increasing the budget. You can't do this. You got to get with GERS now. Don't believe me. Google it. Find it out for yourself. But we are exactly where I feared we would be. If you remember, this is the day that we walk down memory lane, because we have to understand what I've been doing all of the years in between then and now, so that you understand where we're going. What year was that? 13 years ago, when I said that we had to get a handle on crime. Remember the Gun Control Act? People on the radio saying, all I wanted to do was lock up local boys. My answer was, if they're murdering people, you're damn right. The answer is the same. We lost a young man 2 days ago. How many more are we willing to lose? On the federal side, I am still, let's just say what it is, pissed off because the ATF walked out of here and nobody said a word. This is an American territory. You don't get to say who you will serve. You don't do that. We do not have the luxury of allowing people to say, I'll serve this community, but I'm not serving that community. That's dead wrong. And it pissed me off when it happened, and that's what we have to stop from happening. Because we don't have the luxury of seeing 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 young men and young women die on our streets like dogs because nobody's trying to stop the guns from coming in here. The problems that we have are not insurmountable, but they're serious problems, and they deserve a serious effort. We have to stop this. My son is a darling young man, not because he's my son, but because it's true. He is. He's respectful, he's hardworking, and I love him with everything I've got. But you know what? I'm more comfortable with him not being here. I swear to God I am. Because when he's here, I can't sleep. I can't. I can't. I'm scared every time he says he's going out at night. In St. Croix, where we used to go and dance out of Bata shoes. Remember Bata?
Yeah.
Cheap shoes, but they look good. But they were. We'd go to St. Joseph's. We'd go to the Major headquarters. We'd go right down the road here, Chapter 2. Go to Sunny House, go to the Granta, dance all night. Never a fight, never a problem. Now you can't go to the store. But who's stopping the guns from coming in here? At some point, a line has to be drawn in the sand. A line has to be drawn where we say, we are Americans, and our citizenship is not dictated by where we place our feet when we wake up in the morning.
That's right.
If we're good enough to die in wars across the globe, then we're good enough to be treated like Americans right here. I am not saying that I can accept what's going on here anymore. I cannot look at the fact that our veterans who served this country, Caleb Andrews, Staff Sergeant Caleb Andrews, I saw him as a child. He's come back from 5 tours in the Middle East. Do you not think that he's going to have some problems coming up? Why should he have to leave again to be taken care of and again be removed from his family? I'm not even going to talk about the families who's lost people because they couldn't be taken care of here, because we know, quite frankly, that it's wrong. Alice, I want to thank you and Mr. Munoz, who's over the financier, Henry Munoz, who co-signed the resolutions with me. I did not do this alone. I want to say that clearly. I'm not going to say it would not have happened, but God knows it was a hell of a lot easier with Alice Germans and Henry Munoz's signature on those documents. So please. This is what it takes. You have to spend time making relationships within the party. We can't just go up there and bump around the walls of Congress because someone was too lazy or didn't have the vision to understand that you have to have like-minded people holding your hand and helping you. If you don't take time to know where the bathrooms are, I bet you just end up making a mess. That's the situation that we're in. That is the situation that we're in. We have spent time. When I say we, I'm talking about all of you as well. I sit down and I pick Roberto's brain. He's an attorney. He doesn't charge me, thank God. Because I know I couldn't afford him. You know, but the fact of the matter is that he cares so deeply, you and your team, because it's not just you. You know, when I call, when I ask questions, I get answers. I've got to put in work, but I've done that. What we're looking at in terms of, and I'm going to say this because we have the time, you're here obviously because you're interested in bars of it, but the fact of the matter is that when we can get this veteran situation solved, I've already spoken with Sam Baptiste, who's spoken to Dr. Griffin. If we can get this done, and I see no reason why we can't, it's the beginning of turning the corner.